Hello friends. So let's continue with the exercise number 4.2, in which we completed total 11 number sums, right? 11 sums. So let's continue with number 12, in which we have 1x square x, x1 x square and x square x1, and we have to prove that it is 1 minus x cube whole square. This is what we have to prove with it. Okay, so if I go with the LHS, so 1x square x, x1 x square x and 1. So first thing, as we already did this kind of operations in previously so many sums, so we'll follow the same rule, that will go with the addition of any two rows into the third one, or the same you can go with any two columns, right? So here I can go with R1 to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So I will get 1 plus x square. Here 1 plus x square plus x and 1 plus x square. Here x square x, 1 x square, x and 1. Okay, so we can take this common, so we can divide R1 with 1 plus x square. So 1 plus x square common, it's 1 x square x, 1 x square and 1 x and 1. And now as we all familiar with the operation that if we have 1, 1 and 1, then we have to go with the zeros, and to get zeros, let us apply C2 to C2 minus C1 and C3 to C3 minus C1. So which will give us 1 plus x square, 1 x square x, 0, 1 minus x square and x square minus x, 0, x minus x square and 1 minus x. So now we just have to give the expansion in the determinant only. So we have 1 plus x square with 1 x square x. Now just check, if it is 0, then 1 minus x square can be 1 minus x, 1 plus x, x square minus x, we can take x common, which is x minus 1, and similarly in this column, that is in third, 0, x common 1 minus x, and it is 1 minus x as it is. So we find that 1 minus x, 1 minus x, 1 minus x, so we will divide second column with 1 minus x, and we will divide the third column with also 1 minus x. So as we divide it with 1 minus x 2 times, so we have to multiply with 1 minus x whole square. So now it is 1 x square x, 0, 1 plus x. Now be careful, as you divide with 1 minus x, and here we have x minus 1, so there will be minus sign outside, and 0, x and 1. And now we can just give the expansion from the first row. So we'll get 1 into 1 plus x minus plus x square. So it is 1 minus x, 1 plus x square whole square. This will be an equation of 1 minus x cube with a square, which is equals to RHS we want. Right? So it's quite easy to solve. Okay. Next topic, next question, let's talk about. So in that, question number 30. In that, we have given 1 plus a square minus b square, twice ab to b, then twice ab, 1 minus a square plus b square, and minus 2a, and minus 2b, 2a, and 1 minus a square minus b square, and we have to prove that 1 plus a square plus b square whole cube. Okay, so this is quite important, right? Because it's different from the other sums which we already done previously. Now just check, it has all the terms are different, no common thing, because that means the principal diagonal elements have common thing, and just check that this element are same and rest of the elements are same. So we don't have any rule to apply. Okay. And as we want 1 plus a square plus b square, we have to convert minus b square in terms of plus b square and minus a square in terms of plus a square. Okay. Or either convert this two in terms of plus a square and plus b square. So for that, just observe the elements. We'll get the answer from the form which is given to us only. Just check. We have minus 2b. If I multiply this with minus b, so I will get plus 2b square, and then if I add in this column, so minus b square plus 2b square will be plus b square. Similarly, just check. Here we have 2a. So if I multiply this with plus a, and if I add in this second one, so I'll get minus a square plus 2a square, that is again plus a square. So this is how we can get 1 plus a square plus b square and 1 plus a square plus b square in this two term. So let's go with that. So C1 will become C1 minus b C3 and C2 to C2 plus a C3. So by using these two operations, here we'll get 1 plus a square plus b square. Now be careful. As you multiply the column with minus b, so this will become minus 2ab. So minus 2ab plus 2ab, that is 0. And when you multiply this with minus b, we will get 2b minus b plus a square b and plus b cube. Right? So you have to keep you have to be very careful by using this operation. Similarly, let's multiply this column with a and add in the second one. So as you multiply this with a, we'll have minus 2ab plus 2ab, that is 0. Here 2a square minus a square, so we'll get 1 plus a square plus b square. Here we have minus 2, and when you multiply this with a, we'll get plus a minus a cube and minus ab square. And the last column remains same. Now just give the simple expansion simplification in the determinant only. So 2b minus b, that is b. b, a square b and b cube. So I'll take b common. So it's 1 plus a square plus b square. 0. 1 plus a square plus b square. Minus 2a plus a, that is minus a. Minus a cube minus ab square. So take minus a common. So 1 plus a square plus b square. Minus 2b, 2a, 1 minus a square minus b square as it is. Right? Now just check. First column and second column. So C1 will be divided with 1 plus a square plus b square, and C2 will also divided with 1 plus a square plus b square. So as I divided with 1 plus a square plus b square 2 times, I have to multiply its square also. Now here 1 0 b, 0 1 minus a, minus 2b 2a, and 1 minus a square minus b square. Now as you want to give the expansion in this, then it is okay. But if you just check that we have b and we have minus a, so just multiply this term with 2b, this term with 2b, and this column with minus 2a. Okay, so by using this two, we'll get these two terms are 0, and here we'll get 1 plus a square plus b square. Just observe. Okay, so the operation I'll just want to write down that C3 to twice b, C3 plus twice b, C1, and C3 to minus twice a C2. So by using this, 1 plus a square plus b square whole square as it is, first column as it is, second column as it is. Now just check. As you multiply first column with twice b, so twice b plus minus 2b, so this element will become 0. Now here 0, so this element will not give any effect on this element, right? And when you multiply this with 2b, so we'll get 2b square. So here we'll have 1 minus a square minus b square plus 2b square. Okay, and now similarly just multiply this column with 2a. So 0, so there is no effect on this element. Here minus 2a plus 2a, then it will become 0. And here minus minus plus 2a square. So now it is 1 plus a square plus b square whole square. 1 0 b, 0 1 minus a, and 0 0. just check 1 plus a square plus b square. Now it will become a lower triangular determinant which has answered directly the multiplication of principal diagonal elements, which is 1 plus a square plus b square whole square, 1 dot 1 dot 1 plus a square plus b square, and your answer will be 1 plus a square plus b square whole cube, which is equals to RHS. Clear everyone? Now just check. The thing which I applied, I started with the first column and second column to add in the third one. The same thing you can go with first column and third column and apply the process in the second column. The same thing you can apply with the row also, right? So we have a flexibility to go with either row operation or column operation, but that you need to decide that which one will become easy to you. Okay, so you just try by yourself that go with the row operation. Just check, we have 2b, right? Here we have 2b, so apply this with minus a and add in this one, and here we have minus something, so go with the multiplication and add in the second one. Okay, so try to go with it, right? So we have flexibility with it. Next, so in the in determinant you find so many sums where you have flexibility to go with any one of the method from 3 or 2 different methods, right? So it's all depends on how you give the simplification easily. It's all depends on that. Okay, let's talk about number 14, which has a square plus 1 AB AC, AB b square plus 1 BC, AC BC, c square plus 1, and we have to prove 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square. For this question, I give you 2 rules. Okay, this is a particular question. So in that, first rule is either multiply in the rows and divide in the corresponding columns. Either multiply in rows and divide in the corresponding columns. Second, vice versa, that either multiply in columns and divide in the corresponding rows. That means if I want to multiply A in the first row, B in the second row, and C in the third row, so corresponding columns, first you have to divide with A, second you have to divide with B, and third you have to divide with C. The only reason is to divide that we multiplied with A, B and C in the rows, or vice versa. If you want to multiply in columns, then you can divide in the rows. The only reason why we have to apply this rule is to get a square, b square and c square in all the elements, because just check, there is only a square, b square and c square in the principal diagonal elements, right? So we need to get a square, b square and c square kind of elements in the remaining 6 elements. So for that purpose, we have to apply these 2 rules, either of one. Okay, so first of all, I'll go with the first row with multiply A, second will multiply with B, and third will multiply with C. Okay, and as we multiplied, we have to divide also. So it will become A into a square plus 1, it's a square B, a square C. It's AB square B into B square plus 1 and B square C, AC square BC square C into C square plus 1. Okay, now just check. According to the rule, it will be automatically settle down all the elements as we discussed, that as we multiply in row, now you just check, you have to divide in the columns only according to the corresponding property, right? That rows will multiply by A, B and C respectively, so column will also multiply, divide with A, B and C. Just check. Okay, so what we'll do with it? First column will divide with A, second column will divide with B, and third column will divide with C. So again we have to multiply with it. So as you divide with A, it will be A square plus 1, B square C square, then A square B square plus 1 C square, A square B square C square plus 1. Okay, now what? Just add R1 to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now just check. We started with row operation, that's why we have to apply row operation over here. If you started with column, then here we have to apply the column operation. Okay. So now by using this, we'll get 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square, 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square, 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square. Here b square c square, b square plus 1 c square, and b square c square plus 1. So we can divide r1 by 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square. So it is 1 plus b square plus c square, and in the determinant 1 b square c square, 1 b square plus 1 c square, 1 b square c square plus 1. So now c2 to c2 minus c1, and c3 to c3 minus c1. So we'll get 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square, 1 b square c square, 0. It's 1 0 and 0 0 1. So again it's a lower triangular determinant with answer 1 dot 1 dot 1. So we have 1 plus a square plus b square plus c square equals to RHS. Okay. So it's better to follow the pattern always to solve the determinant. Okay. Now there are two MCQs we have. So first MCQ we have given that A is a square matrix of order 3 cross 3. A has order 3 cross 3. So what will be the determinant K? So if you remember, in the beginning of this chapter we discussed a property that K is a scalar and A is a matrix. So it has determinant directly equals to K raised to n determinant of A, where n is the order. So here the order is given as 3 cross 3. So answer will be K cube determinant of A. Okay. So the option is C, the correct option. And 16 number, that which of the following is correct? 4 options are given to us. That determinant is a square matrix, determinant is a number associated to a matrix, and determinant is a number associated to a square matrix. Okay. Now there is a minor difference between all the statements. The first statement, determinant is a square matrix. So every time it is not possible, because matrix has 2 cross 3 order, 3 cross 4 order, any order in the matrix has, right? So those all matrix does not have any answer to get in terms of determinant. So A is not the correct option. B, determinant is a number associated with a matrix. Now number associated with a matrix, which means what? That if we have a 2 cross 3, so that matrix has also a determinant, but that is not possible because we know that every square matrix has only determinant. So C will be your answer, that determinant is a number associated with a square matrix. Okay. So C will be your answer. Okay. So it's just a simple MCQ. Okay. Then let's talk about the next point. Very easy topic which you already studied in your lower standard also. Okay. So the next point is area of triangle using area of triangle. Okay. So we can say that let A of x1 y1, B of x2 y2, and C of x3 y3 are the vertices of triangle ABC, then area is equals to half mode of determinant. Where what is determinant? Determinant is like x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1, and x3 y3 1. Right? Let me remind you, in your lower standard, at that in 11th standard as well as your 10th standard, you study that area of triangle is equals to half mode of x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. You studied this equation, right? So just when you expand this determinant, we'll get this kind of condition. Okay. So either go with this or you can go apply the equation. But it's better that when we find some based on descriptive part, right? Based on area of triangle, go with the determinant method, right? From that, let us obtain two notes. That first, that if points A, B and C are collinear, then area of triangle is equals to 0. So from this we can obtain that condition of collinear points, as x1 y11, x2 y21 and x3 y31 equals to 0. You can easily understand by the point that if the points are collinear, then they cannot become any vertices of triangle, right? That means the triangle made by these 3 points has area equals to 0. So as we take that, let's say A, B and C are collinear, so its area will be 0. That means the determinant equals to 0. Hence we'll get this obtain the condition. We can obtain the condition, right? That if A, B, C are collinear, then x1 y11, x2 y21 and x3 y31 equals to 0. And second very important point, that area of triangle remains same after shifting of origin. Okay, after shifting of origin, area of triangle will never become different, it will remain same. Okay, that means if I give you a condition that 3 points are 1, 2, 5, 6 and 9, 10, right, then origin will shift it towards -1, -3 and find out the area of new triangle, right? So that means if you shifted the origin, that doesn't mean that area will become different. The area of triangle will remain same as you shifted the origin. Okay, so shifting of origin does not affect the area of triangle. Okay, so this is one of the property that you have to keep in your mind, which is not included in your textbook, but sometimes they can ask questions based on this. Okay, so these are the 2 points that we need to keep related with the area of triangle. Now let's talk about the equation of line. This we already studied, but now we have to follow the rule, the equation of line based on determinant, that A of x1 y1 and B of x2 y2, then equation of line passing through points A and B is xy1, x1 y11, x2 y21 equals to 0. This is also known as the Cartesian equation. Let me remind you that you studied x minus x1 upon x2 minus x1 equals y minus y1 upon y2 minus y1. You already studied this equation in your 11th standard in chapter number 10, straight line, right? This is known as the Cartesian equation, and as you expand this determinant, we'll get this kind of equation. Okay, so these are the 2 topics which are very easy, right? And we'll find major question in MCQs based on these 2 theories. Then the next point is which is very important, that minors and cofactors. Okay, so first let's talk about minor. Okay, minor. So first of all, let me take a matrix, that for a matrix A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So minor of any element of a matrix is a reduced order determinant by eliminating the row and column where the element is there. Once again, minor of any element of the matrix is the reduced order determinant by eliminating the row and the column where the element is there and put the remaining element as it is in the determinant. That means if you want to find out minor of A11, so what to do? Minor can be represented as capital M. Capital M11 means what? That we want to find out minor of A11. Okay. So minor of A11 can be defined as capital M11, which means cancel the row and column where it is. Okay. So A11 is in first row and first column. So cancel first row and first column and put all the elements as it is in the determinant. That is A22, A23, A32 and A33. And just check, it has order 2 cross 2. And that's why I used to go with the word that it's a reduced order determinant. So now, if I want to check that what will be the minor of M12. So it is in the first row and second column. So it will be A21, A23, A31 and A33. Similarly, minor of A13 is equals to A21, A22, A31 and A32. Similarly, M21, that is A12, A13, A32, A33. Similarly, M22 is equals to A21, A23, it's A11, A13, A31, A33. Similarly, M23 is equals to A11, A13, A12 and A31, A32. Then M31. So it is in first column and third row. So it is A12, A13, A22, A23. Then M32, that is A11, A13, A21, A23. And the last, that is M33 is equals to A11, A12, A21 and A2. So this is how we can write down minors of all the elements. Okay. Once again, minor of any element of a matrix is the reduced order determinant by eliminating the row and the column where element is there and keeping the remaining elements as it is in the determinant. Just check that all the elements, all the determinant has order 2 cross 2. Now, the very important, that is cofactor. So, what is cofactor? So, cofactor of any element of a matrix can be obtained by multiplying the minor with minus 1 raised to I plus j. Cofactor of any element can be obtained by multiplying the minor with minus 1 raised to I plus j, where I represent the row and j will represent the number of column. That means, now if I want to get the cofactor will be defined as capital A. Okay, minor denoted by capital M, cofactor denoted by capital A. So if I want to find out the cofactor of first element, that is A11, so what I have to do? I have to multiply this minor with minus 1 raised to I plus j. So A11, so this element is in first row, first column. So minus 1 raised to 1 plus 1 into M11. Now what is M11? Is your minor. So minus 1 raised to 2, that is plus 1. So M11 will become A22, A23, A32 and A33. Okay. So similarly, if I want to write down A12, so what will be A12? So it is minus 1 raised to 1 plus 2 with M12. So minus 1 raised to 3, that is minus of A21, A23, A31 and A33. Then A13, that is minus 1 raised to 1 plus 3 with M13, which is plus M13 is A21, A22, A31 and A32. Similarly A21, so minus 1 raised to 2 plus 1 with M21, so it is minus A12, A13, A32, A33. Then A22, so minus 1 raised to 2 plus 2 with M22, so it is plus A11, A13, A31 and A33. Similarly A23, so minus 1 raised to 2 plus 3 M23, which is minus A11, A12, A31 and A32. A31 equals minus 1 raised to 1 plus 3 M31 equals plus A12, A13, A22 and A23. Then A32 equals minus 1 raised to 3 plus 2 M32, so it is minus A11, A13, A21 and A23. And the last A33 minus 1 raised to 3 plus 3 M33, so it is plus A11, A12, A21 and A22. Okay, it's quite lengthy, but once you understand this properly, you can directly write down the answer, because every time no need to write down this determinant. You can directly calculate the determinant and you can directly write down the answer, that what is A22. So it has only direct answered the expansion of this determinant. Okay, so these are the 2 points, minors and cofactors. Okay, now from this cofactor there are 2 notes, that the value of determinant can be obtained by taking the sum of product of elements of any row or column with the corresponding cofactors of that row oblique column. Once again, the value of determinant can be obtained, that is D, can be obtained by taking the sum of the product. Whose product? The product of element with its own cofactor. That means if I take the first row, okay, if I take the first row, so first row has elements what? A11, then A12 and then A13. And now you have to multiply these elements with their own cofactors. That is, A11 can be multiplied with capital A11, A12 can be multiplied with capital A12 and A13 can be multiplied with capital A13. Right? So this is one of the most important property, and if you just check properly, it's simply an expansion of determinant, which we already studied in the exercise number 4.1. Just put the values capital A11, capital A12 and capital A13. So the value of A11 is what? A22, A23, A32, A33. Then A12 has sign minus. So that's why, this is the reason why we're putting minus sign when the expansion of determinant from the first row. And if you remember, we discussed one determinant plus minus plus minus plus minus and plus minus plus. The sign, what the sign represents? It's the sign represented by the cofactors. Just check. First element has plus sign, second element has minus sign, third element has plus sign, then this element has minus, plus, minus, plus, minus and plus. Okay? So that is why we discussed that you can expand the determinant from any row or any column. Okay, the same property we have from any row or any column, but the condition is you have to get the sum of product of all the elements of any of the row or column with their own corresponding cofactors. Okay, so if you want to select third column, so the answer of determinant will be A13, small a13 with capital A13, then small a23 with capital A23 and small a33 with capital A33. Okay, do not interchange the elements of row and columns. Okay, do not interchange the cofactors. That means if someone wants to say that A13 with A23, A23 with capital A13, so it's not possible. Okay, so this is the first one. And now the second one, that value of determinant will be 0 if we take the sum of the product of the element of any row or column with the cofactors of other row or column. That means if you take the elements from the second row, okay, let's take A21, then A22 and A23, and let's go with the cofactors of third row. So cofactors of third row, that is the corresponding that is capital A31, capital A32 and capital A33, and then when you take the sum, answer will be 0. Okay, so same property we have for any row or any column. That means if you take elements from second column and if you take cofactors of third column, then also the answer will become 0. Okay, so there are two properties which are very important as far as the MCQs are concerned. Okay.